Buff Boys.
Now it's over. Yeah, dude. Bobby Sheehan's reign of terror is over, dude. No more talking about. See, dude, we run a tight ship here.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
We remember to turn on the microphones on this podcast.
Yeah.
We do things a little differently.
Yeah.
So this is the Buff Boys podcast, right?
This is the Buff Boys.
Wow.
Welcome to the Buff Boys.
Wow.
Matt Maran, Joe Gorman, our guest, one of the creators of the Fifth Borough Comedy Festival, host of the new YouTube show Sports and Stuff.
That's right.
Patrick Haggerty.
Mm-hmm. This show is about deep cleaning tile floors, right? The Buff Boys.
Yeah, that's what we do here.
You buff floor.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
nice. That's neat.
How you doing, Pat?
I'm pretty good. I'm
Yeah?
doing pretty good.
Yeah?
Nice Green Bay Packers
Oh,
hat,
thanks.
color coordinated with the Fifth Borough Comedy Festival shirt.
Yeah, hell yeah, yeah. Well, I got the Packers hat. People always think like, oh, are you from Wisconsin? And people from Wisconsin are always very excited to see me wearing this. And
Nice.
I think, oh no, I'm not. I was actually looking at some wedding stuff with my fiance.
Oh,
getting
yeah,
married
fiance,
soon.
dude.
Yeah, since the last time we've spoken with you on air, you have gotten engaged.
That's exactly right.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I'm engaged to be wed.
Are
That's
you
right.
nervous about that?
Nervous doesn't begin to explain.
Have you thought of asking about Joe for some advice as someone who's been married for a couple years now?
Yeah, well, yeah, I definitely about getting married and for sure having kids when I finally when I join
Joe gives great fatherly advice.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta think about what you want.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Where I want to be. Yeah. It's about me.
What's
Yeah.
some good advice to be a good father and husband? Joe's like, be selfish.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
take care of numero uno before
Hey,
you
sure.
take care of anyone else.
That's what they say in airplanes, right?
Yeah.
You gotta put your own flotation device or your own breathing mask before you put it on the kid.
That's
Right.
fun. That'd be cool.
That's what life's all about.
Putting yourself before your kids.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Because you can't take care of them if you're not taking care of yourself.
Exactly. So you were looking for wedding venues, or
Well, we have the venue set. We
Yeah.
were looking for the vendors, the DJ and the food trucks. That's right. And at one point, there's a priest there who's trying to get people to be like, "Hey, want me to be your priest?" You know? And hey, I'll be your priest. And but he stopped me. He's
priests are known for trying to persuade people to do things they don't necessarily want to do.
seems that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
hey,
he's
let me be a priest.
I'll be your priest. Yeah, but he looks at me. He's like, "Oh, you're a Packers fan? I'm from Wisconsin." And usually I would just kind of "Oh yeah, sure, they had a great season." I would just play it off.
Yeah.
But I said, I don't want to lie to a priest, you know. So I told him, I was like, I'm actually not a Packers fan. So,
Yeah.
He's like, what? I condemn thee to hell.
If you told him you were a Giants fan, he'd be like, I'm sorry, I can't officiate this wedding.
right.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When do you have a wedding date locked in?
Yeah, March 30th of 2025.
Nice.
Mhm.
Plenty of time, dude.
Oh yeah, plenty of time.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, it'll be part of the hangover from St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
just see someone online have a tweet about planning their wedding, and the thing they were saying save most of the money for the honeymoon, because if you spend so much money on the wedding, it's one day that you're gonna be too busy to enjoy. But if you save that money for the honeymoon, you'll remember that vacation forever.
Yeah, tell that to my wife.
Women like to have the big fucking parties.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And she went to all her friends' weddings, and she wants to have a wedding like her friends.
We're
did.
going to have the greatest wedding ever. We're going to have Hawaiian fire dancers.
Nice.
We're going to have human sacrifice.
Where's it gonna be?
Africa.
Oh, my guesses would have been Africa or Little St. James Island.
Yeah, that would be a fun one.
Getting wet on Little St. James Island. I wonder if anyone did.
And I'm sure
when Epstein had people over.
I'm sure, dude. I'm sure more and more crazy shit's going to be uncovered about that place.
Yeah, which celebrity couples got married on Epstein's Island?
Right. Tom Green and fucking Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, that's what they're divorced now, right?
Yeah.
I was hoping that whoever got married on Epstein's Island would have a happy marriage,
Yeah.
long
I wonder
lasting.
who else would. Yeah. I'm sure there's other people that got married.
Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis.
They're still together.
Yeah, they got married on Epstein's Island.
Really?
So I don't know.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I think so.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful.
I think so. Stephen Hawking married his wife who he cheated on Epstein's Island.
Stephen Hawking had a wife.
Yeah.
And then he got his disease. And then he cheated on his wife with his nurse.
Yeah.
And he ended up marrying his nurse. And then
Yeah.
he cheated on his nurse.
Yeah, he was all like, my wife, you know.
Yeah.
It's a good Stephen Hawking.
Thank you.
It's
You
like,
know who
damn,
was-
dude, maybe
like
that guy
Borat.
yeah, maybe he just needed a new fucking C-volt battery.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
You know who was never on Epstein's Island?
Donald Trump.
Toby Keith.
That's right.
Toby Keith would never.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
R.I.P. to a real one.
Because it's not America.
Yeah.
It's not America. He never went anywhere except America.
Yeah.
Unless he was going to perform for the troops overseas.
Right. He he raped his kids at American. You know.
Yes.
But, yeah.
American style.
Just like he drove his cars American.
Yep.
Raped his kids.
Just like
American.
he drunk drove American.
Yeah, that's right.
Damn.
I actually
dude.
don't know if Toby Keith ever got caught drunk driving, but it feels like he did.
Did he actually rape his kids?
Who knows?
Classic Haggerty, dude.
You never know with Patrick.
Yeah. Not his kids, but like his kids. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, I eat my ice cream. Blah, 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 you know, like,
Yeah.
but his, it's a Turner phrase.
All right, let's
Nice.
go in a circle now and each share our favorite Toby Keith memory.
I guess it was. I mean, like, I guess it was like one of his live performances where he did that, red, white, and blue.
Courtesy the red, white, and blue.
And then he's like, we'll put a boot in your ass the American way, and then it just cuts to all these fucking army people in the audience, like cheering and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so funny. Like, I don't know, just like that whole post 9/11 mindset.
Yeah.
was very funny.
It was, especially in hindsight. It doesn't look great with 2020 hindsight.
No.
And even at the time, it was, the Dixie Chicks, they were out there.
Well, they criticized Bush, and then they were like,
Yep.
"We're gonna kill you, bitch."
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
had a feud with Toby Keith at the time.
Yeah. There's 2020 hindsight, and then there's 9/11 hindsight.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about here.
Right.
But yeah, Toby Keith, honestly, I worked security at a concert that he performed at up near Buffalo, and it was a fun time. That's the thing with a lot of these country concerts when you work security there. It's just dudes singing about drinking and having a good time, and everyone just watching and having a good time.
Yeah, drinking and having a good time while listening to songs about drinking and having a good time.
Yeah.
You talk about memories of Toby Keith. I think about the memories that I didn't get to have. you
Yeah,
know?
that's true.
He was going to play my wedding,
Oh,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Damn.
I know.
That would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one can tell me otherwise because he's dead now. So
Yeah.
You think Toby Keith is in hell?
in Hello Fresh.
Ooh.
No way. Toby Keith's in heaven because of how much he wanted us to kick some Muslim ass after 9/11.
Didn't he even have a song about? Oh, that was a South Park where he was like, "They're building a ladder to heaven."
Yeah.
because the boys wanted to go see Kenny.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was awesome, dude.
But yeah, no, it was he's probably most well known for the like post 9/11 jingoistic pro America stuff. But yeah, a lot of his other songs are just like Red Solo Cup. Just thinking about how fun it is to drink beer out of a red Solo Cup.
Nice.
That's a great
Yeah.
song, though.
It's a pretty good song.
Yeah.
I love my red Solo Cup. My red Solo Cup.
I'm just gonna give names of Toby Keith songs, and Joe sings how he thinks they go. How do you think Every Dog Has His Day goes?
Every dog has his day. Every day has his dog.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Not far off.
Yeah.
What about Bullets in the Gun?
Bullets in the gun. Bullet in a black man's head. I can't wait to kill this child who's eating Skittles now.
Damn.
Yeah, it was actually
Joe
like
knows his Toby Keith.
Yeah, it was actually a fucking story he was telling.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But have you been, Joe? What have you been up to?
Oh, fuck, dude, nothing. I was sick yesterday, dude. I got
Yeah.
a little food poisoning.
Ooh,
Yikes.
what'd you eat?
I think it was halal. I was betrayed by my chicken over rice, dude.
So are you Team Israel now?
I am Team Israel now. After I've been betrayed.
I remember we've been a
Yeah.
pro Hamas podcast because of how much Joe loves halal.
Okay.
And
And
I'm
then-
just the assistant here, so I go along with whatever Joe's political
right.
opinions are.
Right.
Matt wants his little paycheck, so
Yeah.
he knows to smile and nod.
Yes.
But yeah, like no, dude, I did that thing where I woke up at like 3 a.m. and I was like, ooh, I feel weird, you know? You know when like you wake up and like you have that moment where you're like, I might vomit, but I might just burp and then be cool.
Yeah.
Like I hate that. It's the worst. It's like the Chekhov's fucking cat of
Yeah.
Schrodinger's cat of fucking Chekhov's gun.
Chekhov's
Schrodinger's
gun,
cat.
Schrodinger's cat.
But it's like
Chekhov's cat. I like it.
eventually, like I was like, oh fuck, I gotta throw up. So I went to the bathroom, and as I was going to the bathroom, I'm like, oh fuck, I think I gotta take a shit too.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I have to choose which one am I gonna, So I ended up choosing vomit, and that fucked me because I shit my pants.
Oh, I
Yeah.
hate
You
when I hate
when it's like just
yeah.
coming out everywhere and like you can't control it,
and you
you're like,
choose wrong.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I don't that I've heard people make that choice also. You got to shit in the toilet, you know. vomiting on the floor is like, yeah, that's where you vomit sometimes. You know?
I guess, yeah.
Honestly, like shitting myself and just like, and like the underwear was ruined. I'm not like gonna fucking try to save a pair of underwear.
No, not anymore.
It's like when I was a kid, my dad used to make me wash my underwear that I would soil. Would your
by,
dad do that?
By hand?
Yeah, by hand, dude. He'd give me a bar of soap and be like, clean this out.
No, I throw it out.
I should have thrown it out, dude.
I
My dad's
soil
such a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Look at all this fucking shit he tried to do. And look at me, dude. I'm the biggest fucking drug addict piece of shit. Fucking disrespect women. Fucking hate the world.
Right.
Thanks a lot,
wait,
Brian.
But which part is bad about you? I didn't hear.
I'm bad to the bone, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always. I hate it when I'm sick and it's like like burping or coughing and it's like I know I kind of feel like if I throw up I'll feel better.
Yeah.
But I don't want to throw up.
Right.
And then you just kind of are just in this uncomfortable place for another 2 days because you didn't want to throw up.
Yeah, you're digesting all that nastiness
Yeah.
through your body. But then if it, for me it comes to like I don't think my body's gonna digest this. I think I'm gonna vomit now or I'm just gonna vomit. Like when you're sleeping, you're like not able to soothe yourself at all, and you're in like a week, like being vertical is probably not good. So eventually it just happens.
Dude,
Eventually.
it sucks, man.
Just like coming. It's like nocturnal emission. This is nocturnal vomiting. It's gonna come out sooner or later.
It is a lot like coming, Joe.
Yeah,
it's like coming.
because you feel better afterwards.
Yeah,
Like
I hate when I choose to throw up and I accidentally come in my pants.
it's been known to happen.
Yes.
Dude, it sucked. Dude, I had to take like that 2 a.m. shower
Yeah.
where you just like turn on and like waiting for the shower to heat up and just being like, ugh, I fucking shit myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Humble and it's like,
Have you ever shit in the shower before? Like,
Yeah.
it comes out by accident while you're just standing in the shower.
yeah, but it's never like a fucking turd.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little squirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, dude. Yeah, that sucks, man. And like, it's weird.
Well,
like,
the underwear probably hasn't even been brought to the trash, right? So we can still can you get it out for us?
I threw it out the window. I put it in a little. I put it in a bag. I tied it up and I just threw it out the window as hard as I could.
Did you really?
Did you try to hit
Nice.
someone?
No, well, thank Christ, like nobody was on the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it'll take care of it. It's like I'm not gonna like walk it. I'm not gonna like get dressed and walk out.
Yeah.
Soaking wet.
Right.
To
Right.
throw it away.
Right.
It's fucking shitty underwear, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Uh-huh.
I've seen plenty of shitty underwear in New York before, and now I realize it's just businessmen like myself
Yeah.
that tried to burn the candle too brightly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Future billionaire podcasters like you, Joe Gorman.
That's me, baby. The billionaire podcaster.
Yeah. So for the Buff Boys, sometimes when we get our guests on, we like talking about their athletic backgrounds, if they had any. And we got one of the few comics who actually had an athletic background. We've gotten a few good ones, and then
Yeah.
sometimes we're like, we'll just talk to Robbie about whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
But
We've
Pat,
done-
we got
yeah.
baseball superstar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You were
and I'm pretty buff.
Yeah,
Oh, you're pretty buff.
You almost went major, right?
Major leagues.
Yeah.
Baseball. That's right.
Yeah, he almost got to the majors.
Yeah.
Major League Big Chew.
That's
Yes.
right. I was
If he had just broken his arm like Thomas Ian Nicholas in Rookie of the Year, he would have had a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Nice.
Nice, dude.
You ever see that movie,
Of
Joe?
course, dude.
Yeah.
And his muscles healed all fucking tight and shit.
Yep.
And it was like, what?
Yep.
funky butt loving. Remember that part?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Great part.
What was the highest level baseball you played?
Oh, not very high at all.
No.
Yeah. Baseball wasn't my main sport. I do love baseball
Yeah.
and I've played it my whole life.
Yeah.
But the lowest level of it at every point. Cuz I tried out for the high school team and I didn't make it.
Yeah.
And then I played during high school but for like the league for the neighborhood league similar to Little League just for older kids.
Yeah.
And then I started playing intramural softball in college, and I played neighborhood softball when I graduated college, which I still play now. So I've played it since I was 6.
Where do you play? Because you grew up in Staten Island. Do you still, now that you live in Queens now, do you still go to Staten Island to play softball?
I still play softball in Staten Island, and I umpire softball in Central Park.
Nice.
Really, damn. You really care about these kids.
Yeah. These 30-year-olds who I'm umpiring. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, really? You're umpiring adult leagues?
I umpire adult leagues. Yeah.
Okay.
You're out.
I love punching people out.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. Oh.
Do you ever have any, like, some of the umpires? You ever see videos of, like, umpires making crazy, like, out calls?
Yeah.
Do you have any of those?
No. Like there was one time when I was umpiring intramural softball that. So usually I try to just be, I'm not expecting them to take a strike because it's softball. If a pitch is right down the pipe, they usually swing at the ball and they hit it. So it's pretty rare that there's a called strike 3 in slow pitch softball. So it's always kind of catches me off guard. So I usually just I just give like a pretty natural, just like, oh, strike 3, you're out, and then I tell them you're gone.
My favorite video I've ever seen was just the umpire who just goes, "You're out," and then just like jerks off for 3 seconds, like just quickly for a second, and like no one would see. It was on video, so it's out there now.
Yeah, right. That's the guy's our hero actually. So yeah, but there was one time when I was umpiring intramural softball in college, I was sitting there and I was like, if this is a called strike 3, I'm gonna do like a major league called strike where I'm gonna be like, and I had this, my mind went blank other than do the strike 3 thing if it's a strike 3. Like if it, and it was a strike 3, but I remember thinking if that wasn't a strike 3, I think I would have like drooled and like foamed at the mouth and just collapsed under the weight of my mind not being able to fulfill its destiny. But it was a called strike 3, and I did one of the rake, woo, like I did like the full on thing. Yeah.
And that had to feel good.
Yeah, and the guy even said like, that wasn't a strike, but that was a good job doing that.
You got the wrong call, but we'll accept it because your motion was pretty sick.
Yeah, you just rung me up. So I
you
can't
sold
argue.
it.
Right, you sold it.
So what was your main sport if not baseball growing up?
Well, I mean, I played baseball my whole life, and then I played soccer all through elementary school. And then I played 1 year of JV soccer in high school.
Nice.
I wrestled in high school.
You have like that wrestler build.
Yeah, wrestling was what I was actually pretty good at.
I could imagine that.
Yeah. I was and actually it was a perfect sport for me as an athlete because you can be kind of just a good athlete and not be good at any sports and be good at wrestling. That's usually what ends up happening.
Do you have to cut weight or put on weight to wrestle?
I had to get to weight, which I didn't cut a lot of weight, but I was a 125 wrestler. And what would happen is you'd weigh in at the beginning of the year and you're like, I wrestled when I was 16 and 17, and at 16 I weigh in and I'm 124, and they say, okay, so you're going to wrestle 125. And then you're 16 years old, and you're just like constantly growing, like your whole body, even if it's not height, you're just like bulking out, like you're just getting
your shoulders are filling
growing
out.
up.
Well, and especially because like you're in like such like a physically demanding sport too,
right.
Like your body's gonna like develop faster.
Yeah,
because
I built muscle in a way that I had never built in the past, so I was 129 by the end of the year, so to get to that same weight was a lot harder. Now to that point though, after Christmas, so it was a full year sport. After Christmas, they would give us an extra 5 pounds because of that reason. They're like, yeah, all these kids are gonna grow.
Yeah.
They're gonna become different types of children, but in just 6 months, your body type changes entirely at that time in life. So they gave you a little bit of extra weight, but even then it was still, I was like, I'm just eating all the time.
Yeah.
My metabolism was crazy at the time. So
and just around that age, you want to. Well, you didn't really have to put on weight, but you're just eating all the time because you're growing.
Oh yeah, I was just hungry. And like Joe said, the muscle that I built at that point was the most drastic increase in muscle that I've ever experienced.
Right.
Where I went from being like a scrawny 14, 15-year-old to just immediately, just by doing 25 push-ups a day, every single day, I was just like, I just bulked out in a way that I had never done before.
If they could have like a pill where you could like just get back to like your high school genetics.
Oh man, that was good stuff.
I wish I could be as skinny as I was in high school when I thought I was fat.
Yeah,
because like I look at some of those photos, I was like, oh god, I was always like so insecure about my weight. And then it was like, fuck, I should have just... If only I knew what was in store for me, I would have at least appreciated it a bit more.
Well, it's crazy, too, because I'm the same height as I was my senior year of high school, and I weigh, like 35 pounds more. But I don't feel like, generally speaking, it's not fat. It's just man. Like it eventually, like you just gain man, and then you're just like, yep.
Yeah, if you're not fat, I would not want to go back to high school. I left for college at this height and 155 pounds. I was like very rail thin, and I would not want to go back to that.
I would. I would go back
well,
to that
the
in a heartbeat.
metabolism was nice.
And like the
'cause
cardio,
Yeah.
I could just like go running for hours and
Yeah.
not even care.
Oh,
The
yeah.
metabolism was nice. I was able to like now if I like have like a little bit of a like I used to eat ice cream like every day.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I was like bulking up and putting on weight. So I was working out all the time and I would have a pint of ice cream. A lot of times it would be every other day or every day sometimes just to get my calorie count up. But now if I just had one ice cream a week, it's like,
lot, yeah.
you notice it.
Yeah. You don't feel right.
It sucks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember back then I just healed so much faster. I remember when I was 14, I had this like severe injury fairly severe injury to my Achilles tendon. Like it wasn't a tear, but it was like a bad
Ooh,
pull.
Fuck.
And it took me like 36 hours to overcome it, because I'm 14 years old and I'm just constantly growing. And I'm like, oh, now I feel fine.
Yeah.
But for that one day, I'm like, oh my God, I can barely walk home. Like I
Like,
felt horrible.
I remember I would like sprain my ankle
Yeah.
in like high school, and like I'd be like, oh fuck, and I'd like walk with like a little bit of a limp.
Yeah.
But then like a few hours, I would be like, all right, I'm fine.
yeah.
But now it's like I
I
sprained my ankle, and it's like, dude, I'm out of commission for a day, and I'm like showing up in like a Professor Xavier wheelchair and shit.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm all fucked up.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's for 2 days, and then the next 2 days your knee's fucked up because you were favoring your
Right, yeah,
ankle.
exactly,
Yeah.
dude. It's like it's how your body just like deteriorate. It's so funny because like I feel like it was like a hard wall for me. I feel like it was for me it was COVID, but it also probably helped that I was like 36 at the time when COVID hit, which
Yeah.
is like no longer a young man. Like I'm like that's full on adult territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where there's no excuse where it's like nobody calls you kid anymore or son.
Yeah.
Now you're just like, hey, dude. And it's
Yeah, well, because
fuck.
like as a kid, you would look at like someone who's like 28. You're like, wow, that's an adult. But then you get to 28, you're like, well, especially our generation, we're like, well, not really. Once you're in like late to or like mid to late 30s or even early 30s, you're kind of like, oh, people look at me as an adult now. I'm supposed to have
Yeah.
my shit together.
I was like between I kind of treated ages 28 through honestly 38 kind of just like that, like kind of like the college vibe of like I'm gonna eat whatever I want, I'm gonna do whatever I want because
Yeah.
I like 28 was like when I finally got like a job that gave me like financial security where I could buy something and not worry if
You'll be able to.
I
Make
was like, oh, how am I gonna pay for this? It's like I have
Yeah.
money to pay for it now.
yeah,
So it was like cool to have like that level of freedom that I don't think our parents got to experience because they were like homeowners by 27.
yeah,
And that's like the
true.
other side of it. We
Yeah.
got to do more experience. We got to travel more, meet with other people.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that is the side of like our parents' generation being able to like have a home and a family at such a young age is
Yeah.
like, yeah, but they never got to like live actual life also.
Yeah, like my mom was telling me how like this guy I went to high school with just bought a house in their neighborhood.
Yeah.
And like she's always like talking and like, oh, he's married, he has 2 kids now, like trying to, catch up.
What's your hold up?
Yeah, but it's like I'm gonna get your house when you die, Mom. So
Yeah.
fucking, who cares?
Yeah.
I got a faster way that will save me more money.
There you go.
Yeah.
That works.
Plus, like I don't want to fucking be that kind of guy who grew up and lived and then like started his adult life in his childhood neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like I would at least like I could see myself maybe coming back to my childhood neighborhood, like to start like after I like got shit out of my system.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now that I have a job, I got to settle down. Maybe I could find a place, but I want to go out of my way to move back to California.
yeah, I
and then you have all those experiences that you can say, well, I did all these things, so
Right.
now I'm ready to do that.
And I can think about having sex with that trans woman while I fucking
There you
bottle
go.
feed my kid. It's like, thank God I had sex with a trans woman when I was 28.
yeah. There are
Otherwise-
some people I think really do feel a pull back to wherever they grew up, and I just kind of don't really have. Do you feel like you want to eventually go back to Staten Island?
Yeah, because
he's the 5th borough, dude. He has.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
the 5th borough, baby, right
Yeah.
here. Yeah. It is actually a nice central point to a lot of things.
Yeah.
Staten Island in general, or Staten Island specifically, I guess, because you can get like all the bridges. Like it's easy to get to Manhattan. It's easy to get to Jersey and Pennsylvania,
Love Jersey.
and
Love
you know,
Pennsylvania.
so, right. So in terms of comedy, it's actually not a bad place.
Well,
to
that's
be.
the in
Yeah.
terms of like whatever work you're doing
Right.
also would affect living in Queens wouldn't be that bad. Where I grew up in Queens, like far enough out that it would kind of be almost an inconvenience being that far away from the city.
Yeah, well, even being in the part of Queens I am, it would be tough to justify raising a family there.
Yeah,
because like I need a driveway. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
that's I'd want. I think a lot of people in the city when they like have a family, they either like go out to Long Island, suburbs in Jersey, or like Westchester.
Yeah.
It's one of those three.
And then you can do, and then I feel like I can still do it all. You know, I can still.
You can do it all,
be a
baby.
comedian. And it's true. I could do it all, baby. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I would, like, I think like if something awesome happened and for whatever reason, like a tiny little house in Brooklyn became available with like 1% APR or some shit.
Yeah.
Like that would be fucking too good to pass up.
Yeah. Like with a driveway. Like
With
I'd
a
have
driveway.
to be able to park.
I'd love, yeah.
Like when I park in Queens, when I do, I'm like, oh my, like it just takes me like a whole hour
driving around the block 3 times.
I'm like, oh my god, what a nightmare.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
Yeah, no, it's horrible. Yeah.
I can't imagine owning a car. It's been so long for me.
Yeah, I'm looking into it. I'm trying. I might buy a car tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
God,
What are you looking at?
What's that?
What kind of cars are you looking at?
Like a minivan, because I want to also be able to use it for work. I want to be able to,
Right.
because I do moving jobs, so I want to use it
okay.
for that. Yeah.
And then like you could also like get a whole like group of comics to go to a fucking road gig.
Yeah, totally.
I'm thinking Fight Club in the Poconos.
Perfect.
Did you do that? Did you do the Poconos Festival?
Yeah.
Did you get laid?
Yeah, from my fiance.
I don't know. I heard someone was going around there like getting their dick sucked.
Really?
Yeah, his name was Joe Gorman.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, dude.
Yeah, someone saw how amazing he did on the as a judge at Comedy Fight Club in the
Yeah.
Poconos. And maybe one of the 3 people who saw the live locker room talk,
Matt,
the last ever locker room talk.
That's right.
No, our second to last because we did the last one was in the hotel room.
In the hotel room, we did the Patreon.
That was actually not bad. And honestly, better than the Poconos one.
The hotel room was a more fun one.
Well, it just shows like we can just do this fucking thing wherever.
yeah.
You know.
I think the first year Poconos, we had fun at the couples resort.
Yeah, well, that was fun because it was like people were there.
Yeah.
and like the other one, it was like, okay, they put us in the back room, and then people were there to be nice, but then everyone left like 15 minutes in. And it was like, oh, well, we could have just done this at home. Instead,
Yeah.
it was like the Poconos edition.
Yeah, well, because they had a stand-up show inside.
Yeah.
And also, that first year we got there and they set everything up for us. The second year we got there and they were like, all right, there's the back room. And we were like, we have to now plug ourselves in.
Yeah. It
I'm
was
like,
that,
yeah.
and then it was also like, oh, and now we just have like a brick wall.
That too,
behind us.
yeah.
So-
Well, yeah, because at least the first year we were at
Yeah.
this couples resort. It was outdoors.
cool.
That
And,
was
like-
beautiful. That the outdoors one, right? Like
Yeah.
where the behind you is like.
Oh,
the
that
hills.
first year, that Fight Club also.
That was
Yeah,
a fun
yeah.
one.
Yeah,
If
and
you
then this
watch
past year.
the Fight Club video, if you watch it in fast speed, you can see the sun like going over and start
Yeah.
setting. It's really cool.
And then last year, the Fight Club was still fun, but yeah, the backdrops of both the locker room talk and Fight Club, you almost couldn't even tell you were in the Poconos.
Well, yeah, and like the Fight Club, it was just like so spread out. So it
Yeah.
was also hard to like get like a picture of anyone.
yeah, because
Because like it's like, oh, we got to go into landscape mode to be able to get like all the judges
and the
and the
yeah.
DJ and the
Yeah, because that was just kind of like, I mean, it was still nice. I like like it was back like outside of a bar, back room
yeah.
kind of, and it was still like nice to do an outdoor show.
They were chill too.
Yeah.
I was like watching the audience because it's always like so risky doing like roast battles at places where people aren't expecting roast battles, especially like one with like, let's be real, a lot of older white people.
Yes.
Who are like, oh, you can't say that.
Yeah.
But it was fine.
Yeah.
Everyone laughed.
Yeah, I think it's generally whenever I host the show, I kind of set up what the show is, and I take a little more time to set it up when I see it's an audience that maybe may not be okay with what's coming. I think once it's kind of set up what it is, I think most people know what the roasts are. But sometimes the older people are like, "Oh, like Dean Martin."
Exactly like Dean Martin, you nutty broad.
Yeah.
Dean Martin's dead. Matt Maron's in.
Yes, I'm
That's
the new
cool.
Dean Martin.
You are, dude.
Matt
Yeah.
Martin.
Matt Martin.
Yeah.
There's a hockey player named Matt Martin for the Islanders.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And
Come on.
now he's the
Commissioner
of Comedy Fight Club.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn,
I just
dude.
saw Kanye is going to be doing a concert at UBS Arena where the Islanders play in Long Island.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
He's back, baby.
Yeah. Well, on one hand, it's like, he was doing like MSG and big ones. Now he's doing like the arena on Long Island, but it still is like a 12,000 person arena.
Yeah.
And my first thought was like, he's doing Long Island. I'm like, oh yeah, because there's no Jews in Long Island.
Are there?
There's a lot.
Oh.
Kanye, no! They'll eat you alive.
It's a trap. Yeah. Did you see any of the Grammys or hear anything about it this week?
I know Jay-Z got an award for
Yeah.
being the coolest black guy ever.
Yes.
He's like, I want to give a shout out to my wife for forgiving me for cheating on her with Rihanna.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Is that
dude?
who he cheated on her
Yeah,
with?
dude. Isn't it also cool? Like Jay-Z looks like that, and he's like, I'm sorry, this beautiful woman's pussy just isn't enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta have this
Is
other
that
beautiful.
is that
woman.
whose baby it is? Is it?
Well, no. So what happened was,
is that whose baby it is?
I heard that Rihanna is Becky with the good hair, and I heard that Jay-Z fucked Rihanna but gave her HPV or some kind of fucking STD, and then she gave it herpes, and then she gave it to Chris Brown, and that's why Chris Brown beat her ass on the way to the MTV.
Whoa.
A lot of what you just said sounded like a rap. So like,
Yo,
there was like some
how it be.
yeah.
This is the Joe Gorman
Yeah.
diss. I'm not sure.
She gave him HBV on MTV. You know, you had a little.
The HPV won't let me be on the MTV, so let me see. Hell yeah, dude. So that's apparently what happened, which
Yeah.
makes Jay-Z all that fucking cooler.
Oh, yeah.
Like to cheat on your wife, to ruin a young up-and-comer's career, and then to also get a little taste of Rihanna.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Would you cheat on your wife with Rihanna?
Of course not.
Save it. Yeah. We'll ask you again on the Patreon.
Yeah,
Dude. We ask the same. We ask the okay, now the Patreon where you answer honestly.
Yeah. Usher has herpes, right? He's doing
Everyone
the halftime
has,
show.
everyone has fucking herpes.
Usher's doing
man.
the halftime show at the Super Bowl.
Yikes, be careful with that football. Hope they fucking hose down the field afterwards.
Yeah.
Well,
you know
Taylor
what-
Swift's just going to be there hanging out watching someone else do the halftime show.
Nah, she'll get on stage.
You
and-
think she will?
No, I don't think. I think it would be too much of a distraction to Travis.
Right,
Yeah.
right. No, actually, I don't think that she will. But here's a question: do you think that Ludacris and Lil Jon are going to be there?
Yes.
Do you think they'll?
I do.
With
Yeah,
Usher?
they have to
With
do
Usher,
yeah.
they got to
They're
do
gonna show
yeah,
up,
right? They got to do it. Yeah,
That's like his biggest hit.
right.
Yeah.
Well, it really upsets me whenever on the radio a lot of times they do yeah, but it's the it's the version without Ludacris and Lil Jon. It's it's infuriating.
Yeah.
It's like that's the only part that's my favorite part.
In the club, getting so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That shit fucking ruled. Yeah.
Yeah, that's they're both the best part of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was. Yeah, I know they're gonna show up because like that's like what I mean. Fuck, dude. Like some people just watch the fucking halftime show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch it for the commercials, but now that shit's on YouTube, so who gives a fuck?
And the commercials also aren't. I saw a tweet that was like, back when we were kids, the commercials were just like Doritos and Bud Light frogs, and it was all like crazy fun things. Now it's like Kylie Jenner with a bottle of Pepsi solving racial injustice.
Yeah. Hey, Kylie Jenner, I know what you can do with that fucking bottle. Put it in your pussy so I can jerk off to that image, huh?
There you go.
They're yeah, nice,
Huh?
dude.
You ever
The commercials are equally as grand as they were, but
Yeah.
now they're like making a statement.
Yeah.
I hate that, dude. Just
yeah.
make it funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Make it
Why
funny.
can't
Like
we just have Yao Ming and Yogi Berra fighting over a credit card again?
Right, that's what I
Yeah.
want to see.
there's got to be like another good.
It's also hard because commercials all the time are really well produced. Whereas it used to be that the Super Bowl, it was kind of
Right.
different, that they
Yeah.
were really crazy, these big productions. Now it seems like, oh yeah, Patrick Mahomes is in commercials all the time. You know, and he's like the tippy top, like
Yeah, there's celebrities
athlete.
in commercials everywhere now.
Yeah.
Where I guess it used to be a bigger deal when they showed up in the Super Bowl commercials.
Now they're doing it like it's the Avengers, where they have a few commercials. Where it's like these commercials are gonna interlock and these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all takes fucking place in the commercial verse.
yeah.
It's all part of the commercial verse.
Yeah.
Right. The MCU, the Marvel commercial universe.
Now,
There you go.
Do you think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl and Travis Kelce is going to propose to Taylor Swift and retire?
I think that they're already broken up. That's what I think.
Do you
Whoa,
really believe
that's
that?
your conspiracy?
That's my conspiracy is that they're already broken up and that she's just waiting until.
Do you think he gave fucking HPV to Rihanna and that's why they broke up?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Damn, dude. That's cool. Would you have sex with pregnant Rihanna?
Definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
dude.
is this why Solange beat up Jay-Z in the elevator?
It's probably a reason.
yeah.
Well, Taylor and Beyonce are connected, right? Because that's who Kanye compared, right?
And also, right now, like this week at the Grammys, like when Taylor Swift won Best Album, Jay-Z, when he won his award, I didn't see it, but I saw like clips and people tweeting about it. He didn't like interrupt the way Kanye did, but he did like.
He said the same thing.
He said the same thing.
Black
that,
guys
like,
just
Beyonce-
can't. Black guys just can't be grateful for these little fucking things we give them.
Yeah.
They always have to be they'll have to get all. I have a dream about this
Yeah.
nonsense, dude. Just hey, take the fucking award.
Yeah.
And smile
He
and be
basically
grateful.
yeah, he
Isn't that?
basically-
I love it when we're like, you should be grateful, dude.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. I love that. Like, you should be.
Why don't
fucking
you
grateful.
appreciate what this country's given to you?
Yeah, dude. I love that shit. That shit fucking rules.
Start playing a Toby Keith song.
Yeah, dude. Damn, that's gonna be. Dude, how cool is that? Like, Toby Keith died just before he was able to make it to the Grammys in memoriam.
Yes. Oh, that's so sad.
They literally got to wait another year, and
When- when- yeah,
they're
when
not going to include him.
Yeah, and everyone will have forgotten already. So
Yeah.
it'll be like, oh, right, he died
That boot in your ass guy.
since
Yeah.
then.
No, never forget Toby Keith. Never forget 9/11 and all the great 9/11, all the great Toby Keith songs 9/11 brought us.
Damn, there were some bangers, dude.
Yeah.
9/11 fucking rocked.
Honestly, 9/11.
Yeah, that was fucking tight, dude. Putting those fucking little nerds in their place.
Yep.
Like,
I
we're
think
New
so.
York. We're #1, baby.
Yeah.
I don't think so, bitch.
Yeah, you would say that.
Everyone fucking crying, holding fucking little rags over their faces.
You Bay Area bitch.
Yeah.
You would say that.
Yeah.
You homosexual from Bay.
Hell yeah, dude. We survived the AIDS epidemic.
Uh,
We survived fucking chemical warfare. You
That-
think we're afraid of a little aeroplane?
that was your 9/11.
I remember in college, in one of my, it was either like history or government, one of those like one of the general education classes. That's a huge waste of time and finances.
Right.
But our professor had tenure, and at one point he brought in a 9/11 truther who showed excerpts of loose change. And
Yeah.
I remember thinking like, what the fuck? And I remember being like, I just remember thinking like, damn, this guy's fucking nutty. But I thought it was funny. But like people were like, oh wow, because this was in like 2005, 2004, where you couldn't really say that kind of shit. you
But
know?
in San Francisco,
In San Francisco, yeah, and he kept saying like, this place is probably bugged by the government. He was a very old man. He was like in his 80s, dude. He had like old man skin, where your skin
Yeah.
just looks like fucking thin and wrinkly.
and he probably thinks like the microwave is recording all of his conversations. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude,
shorty got down.
That shit was fucking gay. For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, the it's interesting that Jay-Z basically just said Beyonce should have won this year over Taylor Swift also, but fucking it's not the BET Awards.
How crazy is that Beyonce became a white woman too?
Did she?
Yeah, look at her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Skin Sammy Sosa herself.
I mean, she definitely looks like lighter than she has before.
Yeah.
Like that Ariana Grande. Remember how Ariana's always like
She's like darker.
One
yeah.
minute she's like white, the next minute she's like a mammy level black.
Yeah.
And then like another minute she's like in between.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Ariana Grande in Staten Island when she was having sex with Pete Davidson?
I was invited to a party that she was at.
Yeah.
it
I was there that night also.
Yeah.
You didn't go?
I was halfway there, and then
Oh, you didn't end up going that night?
I was on my way, and then it got like done. Like everyone got kicked out.
Did we all get kicked out?
Oh yeah, it was just the party was over. It wasn't,
okay,
it wasn't
yeah,
kicked out, but the
yeah.
party was over. Yeah.
Yeah.
What time did the party end?
I mean, it was still daylight, so
Nice,
No,
dude.
wait. No.
or it was. I don't know. Maybe I was at the ferry.
Maybe it was a different party. Because the one it was
what time? What time?
Dave Cyrus's birthday party.
Yeah. But
yeah, that was around midnight. I
Oh
left.
yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't
didn't
remember
wanna go,
times of
dude.
day. yeah.
You don't want to fucking go.
But yeah, no, I was invited to it, but I was in the city, and then I tried to get all the way from the city to like Mid-Island, Staten Island, which is impossible.
Yeah.
It takes like
A day.
It takes a day. It's ridiculous. And I had gotten to as far as the Staten Island side of the ferry, and then I got a text saying, "Hey, we're all kind of getting we're getting like told to leave." I was like, "Ah, shit."
That's probably what they just said you because they were like, shit,
yeah.
Patrick's
Greg
coming.
and Rob just wanted to fuck with me, so that they were at the house, so they they were like standing with Ariana Grande, like, oh yeah.
What comedian do you think Ariana Grande would have left with if Pete Davidson wasn't in the picture?
Probably Mateo.
Nice, Mateo Pascal.
Mateo Pascal.
I don't remember if Mateo.
Not
was
Mateo
there.
I don't
Lane.
know. I don't know why I'm picturing him there. I'm definitely picturing Mateo. there.
Yeah, I really liked your appearance at Nickelodeon. I don't know what I don't know what they said about Dan Snyder and everything, but he seems like a decent gentleman.
Oh yeah, thanks guys for all coming to the party.
Yikes, dude! A bunch of fucking freaks.
Yeah.
R.I.P. dude.
I wish
Rest in
I'd come to the
piss.
party. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't really even care.
If
Yeah.
you came to the party, would you have come in Ariana Grande?
I would have tried. Tell you
would've
that
been-
much.
I've been like, I know you look like a little girl, but
Yeah.
still.
Honestly, you probably would. I was like hanging out with Greg and Rob the whole time, and that's where like most of the comics were. And every once in a while, one of the comics then would try and go over to like whatever circle Ariana Grande was in, and it
Yeah.
always just felt like very like, what are you doing?
Right.
I bet she's got a tight little butthole though.
I'm sure.
I bet her little log cutter, nice and fucking puckered like a starfish.
She's dating like SpongeBob? Isn't
The
is
guy who
the
did
guy who
the
did
voice.
the voice? Oh, not the
She
voice.
did no. It was the guy who did SpongeBob in the Broadway
On the
production.
Broadway.
Right. Didn't
production?
she like break up his marriage?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nice.
she serial breaks up marriages.
Yeah.
Nice.
She actually gave Jay-Z the fucking STD
Oh, okay.
that he passed on to Rihanna.
It all comes together.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Is she Becky with the good hair?
Oh yeah.
She has
Yeah.
pretty good hair. Ariana Grande does.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe.
I worked security once at when Jay-Z and Beyonce did a tour together. They were doing a concert together.
That's what Kelly and I do. We go.
Yeah.
We do shows together.
Yeah.
Husband and wife.
A lot like Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Happy wife, happy life, dude.
Yep.
That's how I live my life.
And I remember I worked security. It was at the football stadium in D.C. where the Commanders play, FedEx Field. And it was, I wonder, was that like after the whole thing with Rihanna? They were trying to like rekindle things, I guess, go on a tour
Probably.
together. Yeah.
Well, it might have even been like, I don't know, dude. I feel like they probably, people that fucking rich and that successful, they have to have like some kind of understanding.
We're going to be
Where-
cheating on each other.
Yeah, but she was like, oh, you fucking got this disease now. And so he's like in the doghouse for that.
right,
you know?
right. He didn't do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
One, don't. Number
Don't.
two,
Also,
Be
maybe
safe.
not. Also, maybe not with Rihanna. Right, like that might have been something where it's like, just do it with some like bimbo after your show, like
Oh,
Make her
come on,
sign.
dude.
Make her sign an NDA.
yeah, right, yeah,
The Vince
Yeah.
McMahon special.
yeah.
what a fucking bad NDA if she goes around fucking blabbing everything.
Well, that's the thing. Apparently, the thing with Vince McMahon's NDAs was that they were just not done through like WWE's legal. So I think like all of them are actually null and void.
Damn, that sucks.
And the one that like is leading to the case that's come out now is just that he was like supposed to pay her hush money as a part of the agreement, and he just didn't pay her in full. So she's legally allowed to talk because he never paid her what he
How
agreed
much
to pay
was
her.
he? Was short like $5.
It was like $3 million, I think.
Damn, dude. Imagine taking a shit on a woman that cost you like $3 million.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's nothing to Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, people don't like The Rock now.
Yeah.
What did he do?
He
So-
fucked up Cody Rhodes' momentum, dude.
Yeah.
Like he always
Ah.
like The Rock always shows up and always fucks up a newcomer's momentum. He did the same thing with CM Punk. Like it's like every time somebody like starts getting any kind of push, it's like The Rock has to come in and remind people that he's the fucking Rock.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
Pretty
it's
cool.
interesting now
They're gonna turn into a
because
feudal.
there's kind of some negative stuff about The Rock. It seems like from like even movie stuff and like because everyone hates him after Black Adam, right?
Everyone hates him after Black. I mean, like CM Punk was even talking about when they wrestled how like The Rock came in and said, "Okay, we're gonna go do this, and then I'm gonna do this and this and this," and Punk's like, "That's not how I work, man. Like, let's talk and coordinate and
Yeah.
work on this together." You know.
And then I think what I heard Punk say, and then they did work together
Yeah.
and it ended up being fine. But I just because I don't know any of the like behind the scenes stuff or like the fan reaction to a lot of the comic book movie stuff. I like Black Adam, but I've heard that it was just like I like everything.
That's
Yeah.
like fucking.
Yeah.
That's such a fucking Matt reaction to this
Yeah.
critically panned movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
Um,
definitely didn't think it was bad enough for it to change what people think of him. You know,
Yeah.
it was just kind of blah.
Well, I think the thing
Well,
was,
it was-
he tried to make his character
Right.
Black Adam like the next challenger to Superman.
Mhm.
I think.
He wanted to do like a. So Black Adam is primarily a Shazam or Captain Marvel enemy.
Yeah.
So the lore and what people were expecting were they were going to set him up to fight Shazam in the next movie, but The Rock was like, "Oh, we're going to change the entire dynamic of the DC universe, and we're actually going to make my character the most powerful, which means he has to fight the most powerful Superman."
Yeah.
So they did like this whole thing with like Henry Cavill like came back as like Superman
in like the post credits.
yeah,
right?
and like they were really pushing the idea of like, oh shit, this is the new DC universe, and then it did so bad that they were like, okay, we're actually canceling everything.
Yeah.
And James Gunn's taking over.
Yeah.
And everything's going to be under one flag.
Yeah, and then Young Rock, the show he had on NBC, got canceled.
And like, Young Rock, he also, this is funny, but like they also set up a storyline with him and Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Like I know eventually we're going to have to settle this
think
in the arena.
Yeah, I think him and Roman Reigns has been a match that fans have wanted to see for a while and would want to see.
Maybe 5 years ago, dude.
Well, the problem is now, just general, I feel like someone like you, Patrick, who doesn't really watch much, you're just like, Rock's coming back to fight the guy he's related to. That's fine. That's an interesting thing.
Right.
Here's what they should have done was like when The Rock first came back like 5 years ago and the Shield just broke up.
Yeah.
And they didn't know what to do. They should have teamed up Roman with The Rock, and they could have done it like the Samoan Smash Brothers or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then like that way, and then like it would mostly just be like Roman Reigns because The Rock gets gassed after 5 minutes, but he could show up and he could like start getting momentum.
Yeah.
And then at like a WrestleMania,
He
then he
turns
betrays.
on him.
Yeah, he turns on The Rock, and then like that sets him up for like the head of the table shit.
Yeah.
What they're gonna do.
Well, yeah, so the whole thing for the last, 2 years, Cody Rhodes has been building momentum to be the next challenger to the bad guy, Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. And last year, he lost, and fans were upset. But it was kind of with the, well, okay, next year WrestleMania will face him. And now it's next year, and The Rock's coming in to take the spot. So wrestling fans are chanting Rocky sucks now. They're booing The Rock. And
I think it was because he just took over as like a head of TKO.
Yeah, he just got on the board of the company that now owns WWE. So
right.
I really feel like they need to keep those things separate.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be on like the board, that's fine, but you also can't. And I'm also the star.
Yeah.
Like that's the same fucking problem that Vince McMahon had, and I'm sure in like a big way, Vince McMahon thought he was like Mr. McMahon from the WWE.
Well, I mean, so many of those old storylines now that he's actually turns out in real life was basically pimping out women.
Yeah, that's
now it's
cool.
Look at these evil things this character did, and it's oh, actually.
When you watch like those old clips of him in WWE, it's so funny because it's like, dude, you could just be like a fucking billionaire.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm a part of the show.
Yeah.
And he's getting all fucking red and shit, and he's just all fucking jacked.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
But The Rock also owns the XFL, which is now the UFL.
Well,
so.
yeah,
they rebranded it?
Yeah,
well, they
merged
merged with the USFL.
What are they going to call it, though?
That's just the UFL
That's
now.
gay, dude.
The UFL.
XFL.
Well, but the XFL is a conference or a division. So it's the XFL division and the USFL division.
Yeah.
And then it's the UFL.
Now, what's the XFL? Like, that's like, you can have, like, switchblades hidden in your fucking cleats and shit.
Not
right?
anymore. Now it's just minor league football.
That's so fun, because, like,
yeah.
I remember, like, Vince McMahon, when he was, like, pitching the XFL, he was like, this is real smash mouth football.
Yeah, that's what it was in 2001.
Yeah, it's like, my stepdad loved the XFL.
Yeah.
He took us to games and shit.
Well, like back in 2001?
In 2001,
Wow.
the San Francisco Devils. And he
Yeah.
still
Nice.
has a Devils jersey for that.
I have a New York Guardians hat from 2020 when they did.
He really believed it was going to take off. He liked it. And like, it was also like, football, they have regular cheerleaders. We have fucking strippers. Yeah. Like it was like
Yeah.
look how fucking sexy our cheerleaders
Yeah.
are.
I could see the UFL working. Like I think people like football so much that I think it could work.
That is the thing, the USFL and XFL games, when they were just minor league football the last few years, would get bigger ratings than, NBA games. Mm-hmm. Because people really do just watch football that much.
Right. And
Damn.
The Rock, I mean, I
The
wonder
Rock.
if people are gonna. I watch it because The Rock's part of it, So, and I think that there's plenty of people who still really
Plenty
like The
of
Rock.
people are like that.
And feel fine
Well,
about him.
dude,
I could
yeah.
see. Well, two things about the people chanting "Rocky sucks" is those are probably huge wrestling fans who
Yes.
know the inner workings of what he's doing,
Yeah.
kind of shittily, but also he used to be a bad guy. That kind of works for me. I'm like,
Hollywood
oh, cool.
Rock,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, The Rock's a bad guy
But
again. That's fine.
They're trying to
Like,
push him as like a good guy, or he's like, I got to stand up to you.
He's been a good guy for
Well,
30
that's
years.
like, if it is just like some like internet fans who are really into it that are upset, it's kind of whatever. But when it gets to the point where someone
that bought a
who's-
ticket.
when you're watching the show and an entire arena is chanting "Rocky sucks,"
right.
I don't think that's what they
Die,
want.
I
Rocky,
agree.
die.
I agree. It's not what they want, but. And I'll sound like my brother here, but
Yeah.
but they should work. They should run with it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like it's perfect. It's wrestling. Being
Rock is the bad guy.
yeah,
I
Rock
think
is
they're
the bad
gonna-
guy.
I think they're gonna do the
I mean, that's
same-
what Vince McMahon was when he was.
I don't
when
think The
he-
Rock
when he-
wants to be the bad guy while being on the board of
So
like.
I think-
Vince
I
McMahon
think-
was that though. Vince
Yeah.
McMahon was the bad guy
But,
when,
like,
when
that
he was a
was-
character. He was
They,
the bad
they
guy.
had to do that though because of the Montreal screw job.
Right.
Where after that it was like, wait a minute, what the fuck is this announcer doing coming down and ringing the bell?
Yeah.
And it's like it was all this, and like so it's like they had to build the Vince McMahon persona from that.
Yeah.
And then maybe they'll do that with The Rock. Who knows?
Yeah.
Now they
Like,
have this, like
but-
so they had
Well, that
to
was
do
the
it
thing.
with
They
Vince.
just.
Maybe they have to. Do
I
it with
think
Rock.
some of it they almost like trapped themselves in like the whole Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon.
Mm.
The boss and owners of the company are the bad guy, and then for the next 20 years, they've just always been. The boss of the company is the bad guy. There's never really been an on-screen like
a face boss.
a boss who's kind of a
Maybe
good
Teddy
guy.
Long.
Yeah. So
Fatal
I feel
three-way match?
so I feel like anything in wrestling at this point, because everyone who watches now grew up with Stone Cold and Vince McMahon. There's not a lot of people who are still watching and into it that don't know the boss is the bad guy in general. So when The Rock buys whoever's in charge, if they're a character on screen, eventually I think the fans are going to start booing them.
Well, and like The Rock
Yeah.
can't be a heel anymore because he's also a brand.
Yeah.
Like it's like oh, I'm not gonna buy Zola, dude. He's a bad guy after how he fucking screwed over Cody Rhodes. Like we think it's like not a big deal, but it impacts merchandising. It impacts everything.
Vince McMahon was never a brand the way The
Right.
Rock is now.
Yeah, it can definitely affect it. But even back when like Triple H was the bad guy, and then it'd be like, buy Mountain Dew or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, like I'm gonna
Yeah.
buy Mountain Dew because Triple H is endorsing it, even though he was the bad guy all the time.
Yeah,
He
the
was-
bad guys. I do. I remember CM Punk did an interview where he talked about they made him turn bad guy, and he's like, "It is a real thing that your merchandise money goes down when you go from good guy to bad guy."
Makes sense.
Like it's not that no one will buy anything of yours anymore, but in general, if you are a company and you're like, I want to get someone from the WWE, you would rather, if you could pick anyone, you're picking the one that all the fans love.
Yeah, unless it's like a particular thing that they're selling that maybe works better with a piece of shit.
But
Like,
that's what they're doing
yeah.
now with the W, because they made it like good guys and bad guys. Because in the '90s, it was like all these shades of gray. Because like sometimes like Stone Cold was a piece of shit, and sometimes he was like a good guy.
Well,
Yeah.
Stone Cold was a bad guy, and everyone just kind of liked what he was doing. So he just started doing the same stuff, but to bad guys instead of good guys.
Just like you.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happened with your story.
yeah,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
Matt only rapes bad guys.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
It's like what was that TV show
Dexter.
where Dexter? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you rape bad guys.
Darkly raping Matthew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. I don't know, man. We'll see what well they started blading again. You see Cody Rhodes got all bloodied in his one of his matches.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. It's back, dude. I think it's like slowly, but I don't think we're going to get to see titties the way we used
Probably
to.
no more bra and panties
Oh.
matches.
No,
But
those
with
were awesome.
WWE's going to Netflix, maybe there'll be more blood.
Well, maybe
Blood
when
and
they're-
titties.
Blood and titties.
Maybe by going to Netflix, their full library will be unlocked, and they won't have to censor shit. you
On
know?
oh yeah, because it's on Peacock now, but some stuff is censored.
Wildly censored.
Yeah.
So-
If the full library goes on Netflix, I don't know. They unlock some old stuff.
Like Chris Benoit matches.
You used to watch Chris Benoit matches on
Really?
Peacock. One of
Uncensored?
the things that since they made the network, because they have old ECW stuff, but back in the day, ECW just played music that they didn't have the rights to. And they were like, if they come after us, they come after us, but they just didn't for a while. So now if you ever watch old stuff, it's like played over with like really bad versions of those songs.
Oh, that's funny, dude.
It's like every time Rob Van Dam would come out, it was just Walk by Pantera.
Uh,
But now if you watch the
Yeah.
replay, it's just like some weird non-copyright thing that sounds kind of
right,
like
similar
Pantera.
to it. Right, not yeah.
Same thing with Sandman coming out to Enter Sandman.
That's awesome.
But if you watch the Sandman just coming out to Enter Sandman, drinking beers and smashing him over his head as he came out to the ring. Oh, one
That
of
was awesome.
just some great entrances.
EC Dub.
It was a better time.
Yeah.
Simpler
A
time.
simpler time, dude.
Yeah. It's kind of like Mariano Rivera coming. Mariano Rivera should have smashed some beer cans over his head
he
coming
did it
out.
a few times, yeah. But it was holy water.
Holy, yeah. God, how disappointing is it when a great athlete turns out to be really religious?
It's wild, dude.
Yeah.
Like Tim Tebow.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was his whole thing.
Right.
I think it's more like when you just like, for me, like, I guess if you really were paying attention, you knew Mariano Rivera was just as a kid, he's just like, this guy's incredible. And then you get older and you find out he's so religious. He married the woman he went to high school with, despite her not being attractive. Like, that's not what you want out of your
That's
athletes.
weird.
Right. But he did end up being like a pretty avid Trump supporter, Mariano.
So he keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, see? Right. So, he's good, there's good and bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is fun. He's like, oh yeah, Trump. He is a man of God. He is
Nice, dude.
Oh Jesus,
He's
Christ.
right, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
yeah.
Trump is a pretty fucking cool guy.
Trump and Mariano Rivera, two of the greatest closers of all time.
That's right. Always be closing.
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Them and Alec Baldwin,
Yes.
all great closers.
ABC, baby.
Yep.
Always be cucking.
Always
That's
be
right.
cucking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any other Yankee? Because, like, just New York in general. It's interesting. I was talking to someone recently. Like, if you grew up in New York, Trump's always just kind of been a guy that was around.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even necessarily negative or positive. He was just a name. It
He was like a neighbor, dude.
It was like a neighbor to all
He
of
was
us.
a neighbor, dude. Trump is a
Yeah.
neighbor to everyone.
Kind of like a father figure.
And in many ways, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a way of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's just like Yankees players who just met and hung out with Trump all the time that, like,
Yeah.
Mariano doesn't give a shit. He'll just say he's a man of
I'm
God.
sure like there was
Right.
some guy like, I was at a bar and Trump bought everyone around and
Yeah.
you know.
I just want to know, like, does Chuck Knobloch support Trump? All
I-
the
oh, I'm
90s
sure.
Yankees. Yeah.
Yes.
A guy who looks like Chuck Knobloch definitely,
yeah,
definitely
he- yeah.
supports Trump.
Yeah, dude. Everyone supports Donald Trump. He's gonna win.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Damn, isn't that crazy? He's gonna win.
I
dude.
support
Yeah.
winners. Yeah.
What are the 90s Yankees? So Chad Curtis.
Maybe Andy
Chad
Pettit.
Curtis is definitely a Trump supporter.
Yeah, Andy Pettit might be. He's
Andy Pettit.
he's a religious dude.
Yeah.
From Texas.
Also, they're all, like, rich former
Right.
baseball
That's
players.
a big factor, dude.
Yeah, let's try
Money
to.
Oh,
talks.
Paul O'Neill's is a Trump supporter.
He is?
Actively, like,
Yeah.
he goes to like he went to rallies and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
He like he stormed the Capitol. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But the other parts were true.
Nolan Ryan did storm the Capitol.
Did he?
I saw the fucking footage of him. He ran up and he fucking pelted this dude.
Did he?
Robin
really?
Ventura. Robin Ventura tried to storm the Capitol, and Nolan Ryan stopped
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. He,
Grabbed him and said, no, you don't.
Nolan Ryan did more to stop the fucking siege of the Capitol than the security guards
Yeah.
working at the Capitol.
Yeah.
You know what?
Nolan Ryan threw just a heater through one of the
Yeah.
windows just to get them started. you know?
How fucking cool is it that when Nancy Pelosi was like, everyone protesting right now has ties. Everyone protesting our support of Israel has ties to Russia.
Who said that?
She
Yeah.
said
Nancy Pelosi.
said that.
Nancy
Yeah.
Pelosi said that.
I don't know. She's a cunt.
Yeah, dude. She's a dumb bitch, dude. Nancy,
Yeah.
watch out.
She's got big flopping titties though.
That's true,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Here's the question.
Buff Boy fan base, finish what we started with Nancy's husband. You know what I mean.
Here's a question. Do we think, this is a tough one, do we think John Rocker is a Trump supporter?
Oh God, yeah.
John
know John
Rocker's-
Rocker?
Yeah, he's just an American
He
dude.
he doesn't think that Trump goes far enough.
Right.
John Rocker. Yeah.
He also
remember-
hates the 7 line. Is
Yes.
it?
Do you
That's
remember
it.
that? I'm
Yeah.
trying to find it right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
There was the quote from the 7 about John Rocker taking the 7 train just because he had to play against the Mets. When they were playing the Mets, he had to take the 7 train.
And it was filled with trainees with AIDS or something like that.
Yeah, basically.
Isn't that like funny? Like you're a fucking major league baseball player, but you're still taking the train. You're not even like just like, dude, get a cab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta save
It's like,
money
you know what?
somehow.
I'm a professional athlete. I'm gonna treat myself. I got a big game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a taxi.
I think.
Well, the City Field is, or Chase Stadium, it's like right off the 7 line, so a lot of players do just take the train there.
And Rocker probably knew how his staying power was going to be.
Yeah, he knew he didn't have much time.
No, he's like, I have about 3 years in the majors. So.
Here's the quote. It's the most hectic, nerve-wracking city. Imagine having to take the number 7 train to the ballpark, looking like you're riding through Beirut next to some kid with purple hair, next to some queer with AIDS, right next to some dude who just got out of jail for the 4th time, right next to some 20-year-old mom with 4 kids. It's depressing.
You know what?
That's fucking cool.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
The thing
Yeah,
is,
it's like anyone that was offended never set foot in New York City.
Honestly,
Right.
yes. As a native of Queens who rode the 7 train several times, he's not entirely wrong.
yeah. Well, I think
Matt was the guy with AIDS.
Yeah.
you would just have to change like 3 words, and that would be a positive thing said by like a a liberal who's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah,
yeah, there's queers with AIDS, there's people with purple hair.
I
It's all-
love riding the 7 train.
Yeah.
Where else are you going to see a 20-year-old mom with 4 kids raising a single mother raising
Making
a
it
family?
work,
Yeah.
dude.
Making it work.
Yeah.
I
Losers
also-
make excuses.
I also
Moms
saw
make it work.
there was a list on a ranking on Twitter. Someone posted ranking Major League Baseball teams based on their stadium's distance to the nearest Chili's.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Made me disappointed to be a Yankees fan. Yankees are number 28 out of 30.
What's
Yeah.
number one?
Yeah.
Number 1, the Cleveland Guardians. Progressive Field is 1 mile away from a Chili's.
Last
not
was
bad.
Seattle, right?
So the Yankees are 14 miles away, and that was 28th. So most stadiums are within only a few miles of a Chili's. The Toronto Blue Jays are 85 miles away.
Good Lord.
Toronto.
Seattle Mariners, 279 miles away. By far a distant last place.
Yeah. I guess it's like the middle of nowhere.
What
you
does
know?
it say for, does it have the San Francisco Giants?
The Giants they were number 25, 12 miles away.
Yeah, I know where that Chili's is.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And you said you grew up going to a lot of Kansas City Royals games,
All the
right?
time, baby.
They are number 14, 7 miles away.
Yeah, I know that Chili's as well.
Hell yeah. Joe knows all the Chili's.
At least in areas I grew up in.
Yeah.
all over the country. The thing is, I couldn't even think about that Chili's in the Bronx, I guess it is, or maybe
Well,
it's
if it's
in, like,
14 miles away, it may be a little bit
maybe
like
into
north.
Manhattan,
Yeah.
or it might be north, right?
No, because there is no Chili's in Manhattan. I know that. Well, the City Field, the Mets
Is there a Chili's in the Bronx?
let me see where the
That
Mets
sounds like
are.
the name of a book.
Yeah, Chili's in the Bronx.
Yeah. No, I don't think it would be in the Bronx. I think it might be 14 miles north of Yankee Stadium, maybe like Westchester.
Oh yeah,
Or
Damn,
maybe
dude.
Jer- or
Fancy-ass
Jersey.
Westchester.
it's probably
Maybe Jersey.
maybe Jersey, but probably Westchester.
Yes. Well, City Field is only 5.4 miles. And there's one in Long Island.
Ooh,
So that
jealous.
also, it may be the same one. Long Island, 5.4
Oh.
miles from City Field, and it's about 14 miles from Yankee Stadium.
And actually, Yankee Stadium is surprisingly close to Queens. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I saw another one that was ranking MLB teams based on the distance to the nearest Waffle House.
Okay.
That one's a little further away for a lot of teams because there's
So
just
wait, is it for football stadiums?
baseball stadiums.
Oh, you should check out basketball stadiums for that.
Yeah. Oh, well, because the thing is with Waffle Houses, there's some regions that just don't have Waffle House.
Yeah, it's a very northeast to Midwest type thing.
Not even Northeast, really.
Really?
Yeah, because the Yankees and Mets are both like 75 miles away. It's more like Midwest and South.
Okay.
Number 1 is the Atlanta Braves, 0.5 miles from a Waffle House.
Nice.
And the last one is all Pacific Northwest. It's all Oakland, San Francisco.
Yeah.
The Giants are 638 miles from a
Oh yeah.
Waffle
There's
House.
no Waffle House in California.
Yeah,
man.
and Seattle is 982 miles.
Yeah, we're IHOP
What are
people.
we? What are you thinking?
The Yankees are 18th, 75 miles away.
Oh, okay.
And
So,
the Mets are like right there.
probably some bumfuck Pennsylvania area.
Yeah,
with a
Cincinnati's number 2, Texas number 3, Tampa Bay number 4. So it's all like south and Kansas City number 6,
Not
just
bad.
5 miles away from a Waffle
That
House.
is not bad at all.
Colorado is up there.
You know what? I think I know that Waffle House too.
You do?
I think so.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, all the
Let's-
California teams are here. San Diego Padres, Angels, Dodgers. Minnesota Twins are pretty far down. Milwaukee too, Chicago. It's all like south mostly and Midwest.
How does that make you feel, Patrick?
75 miles doesn't sound bad. I kind of want to
Yeah.
go to Waffle House. You know?
Let's drive 75 miles to a Waffle House.
Yeah. What do you think? It's like upstate New York. Where is that Waffle House?
Oh, probably. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I know there's
Upstate,
some.
dude.
Oh, actually, no. not-
Upstate's got stuff.
I think it might actually be Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Maybe
Ooh,
the closest
fucking
one.
A, baby.
Yeah,
Nice.
or Jersey.
Might be Jersey. Maybe
Yeah.
like in the middle of nowhere.
Dirty
Jersey.
Jersey. We're at
Nice.
an hour, Matthew.
We're at an hour.
Yeah.
We got our feet of strength.
Oh,
All right.
Oh, okay.
Patrick, you mentioned earlier doing the 25 push-ups will help get you jacked when you're a teenager.
Sure.
So I looked up. I found the world record for push-ups done in 1 hour.
Uh
What do we think the number is?
Probably like 300, 355.
huh.
355 push-ups in an hour.
In an hour.
Oh,
my
wait, an
God.
hour?
Yeah.
That's in a minute, probably.
Probably like, let me change it to like 3,527.
35:27. What do you say, Patrick?
That's a good guess. So you're guessing about 60 a minute. I think it's more than that though. So I'll go with like 4,400, 322.
I think we're going to go one above him and do Price is Right style. No, Joe is closer. It was lower. 3,249.
Oh, wow.
Now, let's guess. What is the race of the person who did it?
I'm gonna say Asian.
Yeah, Japanese.
No, it was a white Australian guy.
Blimey!
No way. Well, that's pretty close to Asia.
Australian fitness fanatic Daniel Scally, at 30 years old, reclaimed the record. He did 3,249. Breaking the record was a little bit. So this guy had previously set the record like 3,100. Someone else did 3,200. Then he did a little bit more than that guy. 3 of the push-ups he did were discounted due to improper form. They were watching real closely here.
Dang.
And what makes the achievement even more impressive is that he suffers from complex regional pain syndrome.
I have that.
Meaning his left arm is almost in constant pain. So he was wearing like a sleeve on his arm the entire time. I never heard of that. Complex regional pain syndrome. You just feel pain
All the time, baby.
Where do you have it, Joe?
In my dick.
I thought so. He's lived with these conditions since he was 12 years old when he fell off a trampoline and broke his arm. And just felt pain for the rest of his life. Is that how you got it in your dick, Joe?
Yeah. I had this bitch fucking bobbing up and down on my cock, and she missed and landed on it. And I've been feeling a weird shooting pain ever since.
Yeah. From the top of my shoulder all the way down to my hand, I feel a burn, and you'll actually notice me having to bend down and stretch my arm to relieve that pain. But even with that pain, he uses visualization to help push through the pain. During the 6-second breaks he took in between sets, he would visualize his body, paint it red, and then change it to yellow to help with the pain and continue doing his push-ups.
Nice.
3,249. How many push-ups do you think you guys could do in an hour?
Probably like 3,030.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
3,250.
Yeah.
Exactly one more.
How many? Like a lot, but not that many.
I can't do a lot anymore. I gotta fucking build up my strength again.
I might be able to get to somewhere between like 500 and 1,000 maybe.
Yeah, I would say
I'd be too
in that
exhausted.
area.
My body would fucking ache from doing push-ups. And it's
Yeah.
like, I can't do it anymore. It sucks. Getting weak sucks, dude.
I'm doing this challenge. I'm doing I did one push-up on the first day of the year, and then I'm doing the same that day's worth of push-ups every.
So on like December 31st this year, you'll do 365 push-ups?
Actually, 366 because it's a leap year.
Ooh.
Wait, so what are you at now? You're at like 40 push-ups?
Or like in the high 30s.
Damn, dude.
But actually, I've jumped ahead so that I can like take days off if I want.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I'm actually up to like in the 60s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
So then every once in a while you'd be like, you're just keeping ahead.
Or I'm like busy. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
I keep ahead so that if I'm busy, I can't. Then I will just not do any.
Nice.
Maybe.
Nice,
Yeah.
dude. Well, folks, does a high volume of push-ups cause erectile dysfunction? Stay tuned for the Patreon episode where we get to the bottom of it.
Cool.
Patrick, where can people find you? What do you have to plug, promote? What do you have coming up?
Yeah, go to my YouTube, Patrick Haggerty. Go subscribe to that. Also, I'm headlining in Maryland. Is that yes, in Maryland this Saturday, maybe, or maybe it was last Saturday, depending on when you're watching this or when this is going up.
Yeah, this is coming out Sunday.
Yeah. So yesterday,
Hell yeah.
yeah. So headlining Maryland, and I got some Comedy Fight Club every Sunday.
Yep.
Astoria, Queens, March 7th. At QED, I'm running a show out there. So yeah, but mostly the YouTube. Patrick Haggerty on YouTube. Go subscribe to that.
And I'm headlining in Beacon coming up. Beacon, New York, March 1st. Get tickets now.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
And Kelly and I are going to be in Minnesota at some point later this month.
Yeah?
Dang.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
So follow Kelly for that information. She's much, much better at this stuff.
Awesome. Thank you guys for listening. Stick around for the Patreon.